Well, from day one, when Patty Carey opened the planetarium back in 1962, the Cosmosphere has relied heavily on volunteers in one capacity or another.
So many things that the volunteers, I don't know if they even realize how valuable they are and how much they help us do some of the additional things that we do and are able to do and offer to everyone.
I think that we're a medium-sized museum, and so we have a medium-sized staff. But when we have big things that need to be done, we're going to need some more people. So I think that volunteers play an essential role in just getting things done around here, because we can't do it all, no matter how much we want to.
The volunteers do a lot for the education department. One of the biggest things that they do is help out with guided tours. So they reach hundreds of kids through that, and just makes the history that we show in the museum very exciting and very relevant to them. Another thing that I really appreciate is the rocket team. We utilize them mostly during the summer, but they build model rockets, and there's this really cool launcher that the kids get to use, and it's like being kind of like at a real rocket launch. And I know that's one of the kids' favorite activities. And then we also have volunteers that do things like build battery kits or make packets for us, or cut cardboard, which we also very much appreciate as well.
Well, there's a few things that our volunteers do for us here in the retail side. One of the biggest ones is every year we get a big shipment of product in for people to buy, and it all has to be priced. It all has to be prepared to be able to put out, and they help us with all the pricing, all the getting stuff put away. They also help us with straightening and cleaning the store, restocking the shelves. And then when we have big events, they help us even in the concession stand and help us sell the auction items in the store.
Volunteers do all kinds of stuff down here. Volunteers are essentially curators in training, because there's no menial task down here. If they weren't doing it, I would be doing it. If that's checking newspapers for articles about the Cosmosphere, if they weren't doing it, I'd be doing it. Photographing things, I'd be doing that too.
Well, for me, volunteers work in Cos Kids, and they make packets in Cos Kids. I even have a certain volunteer that helps me with like theater maintenance, but mostly they cover areas in Cos Kids especially that sometimes would not get done.
The volunteers do a variety of things here at the Cosmosphere, from rocket launches to events to helping us with mailings and just anything that we ask of them, which makes them so special because they're always so willing to help.
With the construction going on, I would say that they have seen an increase in just doing some of the work that I would like to do. That's the thing. I would like to do my work. There's a lot of fun things about my work, but I don't have time to photograph, 100 items that have been on display for 20 years and, haven't had their photo taken in 20 years. And so having a volunteer come in and do that, then I have that on record. I mean, it's essentially keeping our records current.
From giving tours to working the rocket team for our rocket launches, helping out in education, working in the finance department, Cosmo Kids, box office. They just literally almost touch every aspect of this operation. And without their support, we wouldn't be able to provide the programming and service that our visitors have grown accustomed to.
Our volunteers are vital with customer service here. Sometimes they are the first person that a guest sees when they come through the door. Taking on the additional role of working with the volunteers, what I've loved the most is getting to know them. We have volunteers that have been here 20, 30, 40 years, and they have so much history and stories to tell. And then I also really enjoy bringing on new volunteers and getting to show them what all we have and offer. And they get excited to be able to participate and learn more about the Cosmosphere and help out. So those relationships and listen to the stories and spending time with them, that's been my favorite thing so far.
I think personally in the retail side is their knowledge. A lot of times we have customers that come in and don't know much about space, and our volunteers are always just a pool of knowledge about stuff that none of us know anything about.
My favorite thing about working with the volunteers is just the diverse set of knowledge that they bring to the table. We get people from all over, people in the industry, former educators, it doesn't really matter, that they bring a unique experience to us that we're able to utilize. They're a lot of fun to be around, and they're all very hardworking, and we couldn't do what we do without them.
I think for me, my favorite thing is the passion that the volunteers bring. For them, they could be doing volunteer work or helping at other entities or locations here locally, but the fact that they choose to be here at the Cosmosphere, the fact that they are passionate about the Cosmosphere and what we do is very rewarding for me. And it gives me a little bit of a spring in my step, interacting or encountering, visiting with the volunteers.
You want somebody who wants to be here, and volunteers are really good about wanting to be where they are. They don't have to volunteer here, and they want to be.
Each one of them have inspired me just with their commitment to the Cosmosphere and their love for the Cosmosphere. It's just so inspiring.
There's just not enough of us here to do what we do to touch as many lives, inspire kids. They provide an essential service to the Cosmosphere that I'm eternally grateful for.
The volunteers have become an integral part of this operation. They're not just people who spend their time here. They're part of the family. They're part of the team. They're a significant cog in the wheel. And that really started back in 1962 and has continued today. And as I stated earlier, without the volunteers and their assistance, without the ability to have these individuals who are truly experts in their areas come and work with us, we wouldn't be able to provide the programming or the opportunities that the public knows the Cosmosphere excels at. And that is a true testament to the volunteers, the legacy of Patty and those that came before, and I know will continue into the future.
I would just like to say a huge thank you. Taking on the volunteers is new to me this last fall, and everyone has been great. I love working with everybody, and when I have an urgent need and I reach out and say, hey, we need some help, I have always been able to feel that help. They are so eager to help out in any way, regardless of what the task is. So that makes my job much, much easier. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who helps us out.